you're going to get $1 million out of this, but you need to roll 350,000 over into the new deal, and I'll give you 350,000 credit against whatever valuation the company is post closing. So let's say that post closing, you're saying that the deal is worth 3.5 million, and you're insisting that that person rolls over 350,000, then they would have a 10% rollover interest, but they would be reducing the amount they'd be receiving by that 35%, and you would be reducing the amount that you would have to come up with in the closing by the same amount.
But the first part, just to confirm, like when you're looking at the valuation, just give a rough, so the trailing 3 years versus the
Uh-huh.
12 months. Would you prefer going off the 3 years? Off to me seems like the preferred, but
I mean, I prefer whatever serves my interest when I'm negotiating a deal. So if profits are less in the current 12 months than they were in the months before, or there's something that may have artificially inflated the profits, like a lot of businesses made a lot more during the pandemic than immediately after, that then I would use the last 12 months. If I saw that the business was growing and an average of the last 3 years would give me a better profit number to apply the multiple to, then I would argue that we should do it over the past 3 years, and then see where we ended up. So to me, that's contextual on I'm, as a negotiator, going to pick the one that serves me the best.
gotcha. Thanks. And then as far as this is a chiropractic clinic, and one of the main of the three is possibly even wanting to start up his own. So my thought was, well, he's looking into the integrator equity where maybe possibly he stays on. The only concern is not knowing this person. Like, I don't know what that looks like, and or what percentage of equity you might recommend as an option on that if you were considering that.
From a formula standpoint, you would typically say, what would it cost me to have a person who is performing whatever services this person would perform as they are staying on? What would it cost me to do that? And so let's say that the valuation of the business is 3 million, and it would cost you 250,000 a year to have this person on, and you're looking at a 4-year exit horizon, then you would have to pay that person $1 million over that time. But let's say that, because 250 a year times four is 1 million. And so if they were willing to work for free during that time for no compensation at all, because they were already set and they were much more about the value than anything else, and also it would be tax advantaged for them, then you might say, okay, well, I'd have to pay you 1 million there. The valuation is 3. If I divide 1 million by 3 million, that means you should have 33%. And that would be an easy formula to do. You could still adjust that if maybe they said, well, I need, I need 150,000 a year instead of 250. So then effectively they would be investing 400,000, 100,000 a year times 4 years during that period of time, which would be what, like 12% or something like that equity. So, because it'd be 400,000 of the 300. So something like that, right? 12, 13%. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to say, well, if you are coming in, and I don't know if they're bringing capital or not, but if you're coming in and you're bringing capital equal to the capital I'm bringing, then maybe you do a 50-50 deal. Or, because you're bringing the financial engineering and the deal engineering side of it, and they're bringing operational, and if you guys are contributing to that equally and share the risk equally, maybe that's a 50-50 deal. If not, then it's just whatever you want the deal to be, and you make the offer and see if it makes sense for them. If they're coming in, you're just like, I'd be willing to give a market salary plus, 5 to 10% of the equity if they're going to run the show and everything. You'd probably give 5 to 10% equity to your executive team anyway. So maybe that's worth it. Does that help as a couple of ways to look at it?
It does, yeah. I was just in a way not really, not like it wasn't needing, I guess, to have the person stay on, because the owner right now is looking into hire possibly someone else to take over his role.
Yeah.
But then more so part of the funding strategy. So we're just kind of playing that game of price versus terms and giving him some options. And so right now with kind of where it was at, I was like, well, maybe in his ideal situation was having 1.7 million up front, so almost 50% of what the practice was. So then I was looking at some of the funding strategies and just going through that list and trying to say, well, if this guy was actually a pivotal role in or played a key piece in the business, had been there for so many years, and thought, well, it might be worth looking into.
Well, what I would probably do versus what I would do most likely in that deal is what private equity typically does, and I would have them, if you're doing an acquisition, I would have a rollover interest by that operating partner. So I would basically say, I'm going to give you 1.7, I don't know what the valuation is, but I'm going to give you your 1.7. Let's say that that's what he was going to get. And but I need you to roll over 30%, which is about what the going rate is, between 30 and 35% that they're requiring the existing team to roll over. So I'd say, I'm going to give you, and let's just say it's $1 million so that we can do math easy.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you $1 million. You're going to get $1 million out of this, but you need to roll 350,000 over into the new deal. And I'll give you 350,000 credit against whatever valuation the company is post closing. So let's say that post closing, you're saying that the deal is worth 3.5 million and you're insisting that that person rolls over 350,000, then they would have a 10% rollover interest, but they would be reducing the amount they'd be receiving by that 35%, and you would be reducing the amount that you would have to come up with in the closing by the same amount. And that's
got
a very clean way of doing that deal. The other thing I would say that would be a concern to me is I would want a very, very ironclad non-compete if that person is planning on going out and doing the same thing. It would need to be very, very clear geographically that they weren't going to do anything, because count on them doing it. I've just watched it happen too many times. Even if
gotcha.
it's 5 years, and they'll wait the 3 years or 5 years, and then the day after they'll be out there competing. So just,
Yeah,
that day is coming. Most of them, even though they're out of commission during that time, they're kind of getting ready to do the competition. So just be aware that that is something that's out there.